Hey everybody, this is Jen. For those of you who don't know me, I am Savannah's mom. I'm also the executive director of Savannah Smiles. I just wanted to take a minute to recap 2021, give you some things that we were able to do this year, families we were able to help, give you some numbers, show you some ways that you can support us if you just are looking for some other ways to give, new ways to give. If you're talking to somebody who is looking for just to give to something that's purposeful. So we'll do a quick recap. So this year, the number of families we've been able to help is 236. Most of those families are stillbirths. 80% of who we help are stillbirths. The total grant amount we've been able to give this year alone is $140,000. That's amazing to me. That's still, that's a humbling number for me. So again, thank you, because you allow me to say yes to those families when they call. We also want to reflect and update you on the big events for 2021. We were able to successfully pull off our 15th annual golf tournament. We had a full flight, one course at Beauchene Country Club in Mandeville. Lots of food. I always say, you do not have to be able to play golf. Just one person needs to be able to play golf. The others just need to be able to eat. So if you go home hungry from our tournament, it's your fault. The other thing is camp. You know, camp is very, very dear to my heart, but we were not able, because of COVID, to host an in-person camp again this year. We did, however, pivot, and that seems to be the theme for these last 2 years. We offered, in place of camp, the opportunity for the families who had signed up to be a part of camp to have private counseling sessions with a local counselor. It is our actual lead counselor. The vision going forward with Savannah Smiles as far as counseling, because that just is a theme that keeps resonating with my heart. There's such a need for care for hurting and grieving families, not just one time a year, but year round, to be able to plug families into solid biblical counseling and for us to support them, maybe by paying for the first few sessions to get them started. Not completely clear on that vision, but we've never been completely clear. God just gives us the next thing, and we listen, and He gives us the next thing. So I'm expecting that again. Those are some of the numbers from this past year. Now, some of the ways that people have supported us in this past year. Most of our funding comes from a grant from BCM. It's been tremendous and has allowed us to do so much more than we ever thought we would be able to do. The second highest level of funding comes from individual donations, and that group comes from several different avenues. One is people just write a check, put it in the mail, and send it to us. Some people have matching programs through their companies, and we have one family who they pull out of his check every single pay period, and it goes toward a foundation of his choice, and he chooses Savannah Smiles because we are part of the options for his company. You can also crowdfund through Facebook for your birthday or any other occasion. A lot of people do that. And then Amazon Smile. So if you go to smile.amazon.com, we are one of the foundation options. You can link it to your Amazon account, and I know everybody does Amazon, and they will send a portion of Amazon's profits at the end of the year to us. And speaking of ways people give back and stories I want to tell, we have a family who used the platform of Facebook in memory of their daughter. She was 7 months old when she passed, and on her birthday, we helped them last year, so on her birthday, her dad used Facebook and said, I am going to do a bike ride around the entire Lake Pontchartrain. And that was very far and very grueling and something he had to train for, but he had set up the fundraiser and just said, just want to raise $1,000 for Savannah Smiles, quickly told the story of how we helped them. and then wound up raising twice that. So that was one story. So that's sweet Julia. So I just want to remember her. And then I have just a few more stories from last year that I want to share with you because you made this possible. Christopher was 17. We talk about COVID. He is one of the casualties of COVID. He and his family all got COVID, but his oxygen levels never recovered. Then we have Thyri. She was only 22 weeks gestation, so she was a stillborn. But what's interesting about this sweet family is this is the second time we've helped this family. They also lost a child in 2019. That baby was 6 months old. And so to be able to come back to us, who wants to need us twice? Who wants to need us at all? But who wants to need us twice? And we were able to help this family again. And then we have Brody. Brody was an exception that I made. We stay in Louisiana. Our service area is kind of greater New Orleans up to Baton Rouge over to Lafayette, that demographic. We'll go into Mississippi a little bit, and I will make special exceptions when someone from outside of that area calls. Maybe it's a friend. In this case, we got a call, and I just really felt the Holy Spirit saying, take this call. Brody was 8. He didn't have any health issues. He just didn't wake up. So this family called us, and I just felt led by the Holy Spirit to listen. Turns out this family lives in Panama City, which is well outside of our service area. However, we have friends who pastor a church in that area, and we have friends that live in that area. We helped to honor him because his mother didn't have any way to do it. And the assistant pastor of that church, his son, was in the class with Brody. I mean, that's just God. That's not coincidence. That's just God. I'm glad to have helped because now we have the kind of a branch of Savannah Smiles in these Christian brothers and sisters. They are ministering to this family on the other side of grief, and I'm just so thankful you make that possible. You don't get to be a part of the calls. It's such an intimate moment with that family. We meet them in the worst place of their life. And you let me have the privilege of ministering to that family and being able to at least lift the burden of the finances. I cannot take the grief away, although I wish I could because I know how they feel and I know where they are. But you let me at least lift that. So thank you again. We ask for your continued support. We are grateful for your help. And we, above all, ask for your prayer to continue to do the hard work that's set before us.